Look at this misalignment between the NCC and the 1701 and the two halves of the pennant. What on earth did I do? Hey builders, welcome back to Jason's Model Shop, the place to master your models. Just follow along with my videos. Sometimes you might want to watch, sometimes you might learn a thing, and who knows, maybe I can make something for you. In today's video, I'm going to come back to the teaser about the decal issue, but I want to show some of the techniques for getting the nacelle ready for paint and decals. So let's jump right into it. And this is how we start. You've got the nacelle, which this has been filled and sanded, primed, and sanded again with 2000 just to smooth it out. As a comparison, the finished piece, almost finished, this needs another coat, but all the fine detail has been removed, which we'll be doing to this one. Take those off and take all these ribs off. Same with these. Finished and painted. All the detail removed, which is this part and the raised ribs. The backfired housing, I installed the kit supplied light marker, whatnot, and sanded it smooth. So that's one nice way of filling holes without having to dick around with filler and whatnot. Use a kit supplied piece and knock it down. And just a peg mark. And of course, 3 rings that make up the section between the backfired housing and the nacelle proper, and they're stepped to match the stepping on here. So I'm going to go ahead and apply paint to this and this. These guys are the very, very light gray. This is the hull color and the light gray. And these guys, this guy, are the same color as the nacelle insert. Slide it on there. I'm actually using that for alignment. Take the rest of those off. If you're very careful with your knife, you can get this pretty smooth, so they'll do a whole lot of sanding, but you still have to do sanding. There we go, just like that. And then sand off those, and that'll be that. So the original plan was to walk through a buildup of the nacelles today, but a little aside, I'm having some clear coat problems. So when testers discontinued this line of acrylics, I've had to find an alternative, and a couple things. I looked around. I do like these Valleos. They're very nice. Cost is equivalent, and you actually get slightly more per bottle than you got with the testers. But what I learned with the Voyager is that Rust-Oleum clear coat doesn't play well, with it, and it causes it to do this. It damages the paint. So that's with the Valleos. I started with that. Then I decided to move into the craft acrylics. And I get these at Michael's or on Amazon, and I basically mix my own colors with a 50-50 mix of paint and distilled water. But the problem with that is that I tried a different clear coat. I tried the Krylon acrylic. Same thing. It damages the clear coat. Damages the craft acrylics, which is kind of my go-to. So I did some looking around, and came across this. The Vallejo name is what caught my attention. It did not damage the craft acrylic I used. Why are we here right now? Why aren't I doing the full build? All these parts are using craft acrylic. So I need to go back to the hobby shop and get a Vallejo in a gloss finish, because I need the gloss finish for laying down the decal. I need a nice smooth surface. Now, the good news is my paint surface is excellent. Nice and smooth. It's very smooth, but not smooth enough, and I want to prevent what they call silvering, and that's where the decal doesn't lay down well, and you get basically a discolored area that looks like silver. That's why they call it silvering. I'm going to go buy some of that, and then we're going to come back to this. But I'm still going to post this video as is, because I want to talk about this. I want to talk about making mistakes. Now, it seems to look okay. It seems to look okay, but a couple things I did wrong. I installed these pieces before putting down this decal. And I'm not happy with what the clear coat did with it. I'm not sure if you can see that splotchiness to it. And these guys are off. Let's see how close I can get here. There's a 16th of a difference, 16th of an inch difference between the top of the one, the top of the C, and there's a 16th of an inch difference between the bottom of this and the bottom of this. And I just noticed this weird little distortion on the end. This won't do. I can't send this to my client, because I'm going to have to sand this down and this and refinish those areas, or the whole thing. I haven't decided yet. So I want to make sure we keep that paint nice and smooth. And the other thing is, they don't send extra decals with the kit, so I've contacted Jerry at HDA Model Work. So Jerry had done the windows for this ship for me. He made a couple changes. He made these outlines for the saucer edge, and he made me some triangles for the lower saucer. He has graciously put the time in to make a First Pilot set to go along with that. It means I can start the refinishing process and receive those within a couple of weeks, and it won't have a significant impact on my build time, because I can do everything else in that time, or most everything else, depending on the pace of things. Now, I'm briefly going to do a little aside here to show you how I installed the decals on this. I run a line across, so I have a straight line to prevent this very thing. Now, part of the problem with this is that the way round 2 makes the decals is this is one piece, this is one piece, this is two pieces, because the NCC and 1701, they sell as one piece. It comes as one piece, excuse me, for the production version, which doesn't have this little notched out notch on the 7, and it has a little peak on the 1. So I've had to put 1, 2, 3, 4 decals together, and I did what I could to make sure that they didn't become misaligned, but they did. I don't know how I missed it before I put the clear coat on, but here we are. Ultimately, the point of this video, rather than being a full build video, is more about that mistakes happen. It's okay that they happen, and if you take a minute to breathe, you realize most are not impossible to fix. Sometimes it's a bit of a pain, sometimes it's going to cost you some extra, but only rarely should you smash a model. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're so inclined, feel free to watch another one. And, oh, you know what? Drop me a comment if you've run into a problem like this, and how'd you overcome it? And, yeah, I guess that's going to do it for me, builders, so we'll see you in the next video.